Hello guys, this is Panda and I know you're probably waiting for an Ender Dragon XP farm, but what I want to show you today is way more important in my opinion, way higher priority, and that's sticky slime blocks. So you might know it, in today's snapshot there will be slime blocks which can stick to other blocks and move other blocks around, so you could use them to stick a structure together, which you can move with a piston. Like for example here, there are 3 slime blocks in a row, and if I move it, the whole thing here moves because these slime blocks connect, and they also stick to this block and to this block, and the blocks in front then get moved as well. This block then connects to this block, and the block in front gets moved again. Same thing goes for retracting. If I retract this, you can see it retracts the blocks, and now since there are no slime blocks here, the connection broke. But yeah, I just want to show you the basic rules of these slime blocks, so that you know how to work with them. So at first we got a slime block here and a block next to it, and if I extend it with a piston, the block gets moved as well. So the moving slime block looks for blocks around it, and then takes them with it. Now secondly here, we have a slime block and then a normal block next to it, and if we push the normal block, the slime block will stay where it was. So only if the slime block is the actively moving block, it will connect to the blocks around it. The other way around, it won't. That might be really useful if you want to have a structure where you can add or remove blocks with a piston. So yeah, I can see potential uses for that. But let's get on to the next case. So we have a slime block here and a block which is stuck to it, as the slime block would try to move if we trigger this piston. And then there is an obsidian block, so a non-movable block in front of this other block. Now the rule is simple: if one block of the structure can't move, the whole thing can't move. So if I flick this lever, it can't move because there's obsidian here. If I destroy this obsidian, it can of course extend and retract normally. Now next up we get a slime block, and next to it obsidian, so a non-movable block again. If we extend it now, the slime block will just ignore the non-movable block here, as slime blocks don't stick to non-movable blocks. You can imagine that you often don't want that slime blocks connect to the blocks around. For example, in a piston door, you don't want the floor also gets moved up. So you can use non-movable blocks here, like furnaces or node blocks or obsidian. Yeah, there are more. And then the slime blocks can move along the sides of these blocks and don't get stuck to them. And also besides the non-movable blocks, you can use breakable blocks for that, like melons. So if I put a melon here, that also doesn't connect to it, but that's because a melon is a block which can get destroyed by piston. So if a piston pushes, the melon would get destroyed, and we have melon slices all over the place. But let's get to the next one. If you think this behavior is weird, that the connection between the slime block and the obsidian block breaks, it's actually how it always have been. If you have an obsidian block and try to retract a sticky piston from it, the connection between the block and the sticky piston will break. So why shouldn't the connection between the slime block and the other block here break then if the other block can be moved? So the next two rules are for the activated piston itself. So the piston which got triggered is considered non-movable as well, because an extended piston can't be moved, and this piston would be extended if it would extend, so then it couldn't be moved. So therefore, in this situation here, slime block will connect to the next slime block. This slime block will also pull this slime block back here, and this slime block won't attach to the piston, as the piston is in this case considered non-movable. And there we go. It extends but leaves the piston where it was. Now in this case it's a little different. There the slime blocks go back here and then connect to a block behind the piston. So if this block would like to extend, this piston would have to go out of the way, and since the piston can get moved, it will just not move at all. Now the next rule is really basic and known for a long time. Pistons can move more than 12 blocks. So that's a piston which tries to move 13 blocks here. So that's 6 blocks here, and another 6 here, that's 12, and 1, that's 13. If I remove the 1 block, then we get a 12 block field here. And that can be moved by a single piston. If I add a block anywhere, that can be moved. So the next thing is pistons act individually. So if I trigger these 2 pistons, one of them will trigger first and win the overhand, and the other one will get moved by the slime blocks. So that also goes for if you have more than 13 blocks here. So now it's or more than 12 blocks. Now it's 13 blocks here, and if I trigger it now, the pistons will try to move it individually, but it's too much for them, and so therefore they can't. And then I wanted to show some funny things you can do with them, like piston clock, or a really simple butt switch you could build with the slam blocks, and as well as self-moving machines. Yep, that stole my block. And yeah, this thing will just keep on going this way unless I stop it sometime. But I think that's it for today. Just wanted to show you how they roughly work. So maybe just to summarize it, a slime block that gets moved moves the blocks around it. A normal block that gets moved doesn't search for slime blocks around it, just moves itself. If one part of the structure is blocked, nothing will move. And if a slime block is next to a non-movable or breakable block, it will not connect to it and still move and leave the other block behind. And of course, the push limit of 12 blocks and that stuff. So I will put a link to the snapshot in the description so you can download it and play around with it on your own. I'm really curious to see what you guys will come up with for these slime blocks. I'm sure that there are a lot of interesting uses and cool things you can do with them. But that's it for me for today. So thanks for watching and see you next time.